She was the only female emperor in China's history, entering the palace at 14, ascending the throne at 67, and leaving behind a tomb so mysterious that even with 400,000 men digging for a month, it could not be opened. Her name was Wu ZeTian. At the age of 14, Wu ZeTian entered the palace as a concubine because her father had earned the emperor's favor through his service. But the palace was filled with women competing for the emperor's attention, and she never won the favor of Emperor Taizong. For 12 long years, she remained an ordinary concubine, her rank unchanged. Yet during those quiet years, Wu ZeTian began a secret affair with the emperor's favorite son, the very man who would one day become Emperor Gaozong, Li Ji. When Wu ZeTian was 25, the old emperor passed away. According to tradition, Wu ZeTian and other concubines who had no children were sent to a temple outside the palace to become nuns. But she and Li Ji never lost contact. They continued to exchange letters in secret. Later, Li Ji often visited the temple under the pretext of paying respects to his late father, using the opportunity to secretly meet with Wu ZeTian. At that time, Empress Wang, who had lost the emperor's favor because she had no children, made a fateful decision. She personally requested that Wu ZeTian be brought back to the palace. She hoped to use Wu ZeTian to suppress her rival, the favored consort Xiao. But in the end, she would pay a heavy price for that choice. After returning to the palace, Wu ZeTian soon gave birth to a son, becoming Li Ji's most beloved woman. A few years later, she gave birth again, this time to a beautiful baby girl. One day, Empress Wang came to visit the infant princess. But soon after she left, the baby was found lifeless. Crying in grief, Wu ZeTian accused Empress Wang of murdering her daughter. Furious, Li Ji stripped Empress Wang of her title. Yet many believed that it was Wu ZeTian herself who had strangled her own child and framed the empress. A few months later, Emperor Li Ji accused consort Xiao of poisoning and had her imprisoned together with the dethroned Empress Wang. Not long after, he made Wu ZeTian his new empress. She was 31 years old. Soon afterward, Wu ZeTian ordered the limbs of Empress Wang and consort Xiao to be cut off and their bodies stuffed into wine jars. The two women died in unbearable agony. However, Emperor Li Ji often suffered from severe headaches and was unable to manage state affairs. Wu ZeTian gradually became his political partner. To help her understand the workings of government, Li Ji personally taught her how to handle official matters and even allowed her to attend court sessions with him, discussing national affairs alongside the ministers. Over time, Wu ZeTian's political talent began to shine. She proposed many policies that benefited both commoners and officials, and helped Li Ji reclaim much of the power that had been monopolized by the nobles. When Wu ZeTian was 59, Li Ji passed away. His final words were clear. His eldest son would inherit the throne, but all major state matters must first be discussed with Empress Dowager Wu ZeTian. The new emperor, seeking to free himself from his mother's control, secretly began building his own political faction. When Wu ZeTian learned of it, she deposed her eldest son and had him imprisoned. She then placed her fourth son on the throne. But even with a new emperor, real power remained entirely in Wu ZeTian's hands. Her growing ambition and desire for power soon provoked resentment from her late husband's other sons. They raised troops in rebellion, but every attempt ended in failure. At that time, whispers began to spread among officials and commoners alike that Wu ZeTian intended to claim the throne herself, and that a woman had no right to rule. Soon after, Wu ZeTian established a system of petition boxes and offices dedicated to handling reports. She decreed that anyone, official or citizen, could submit accusations with or without evidence. If the accusations proved true, the informant would be rewarded or promoted. If not, they would face no punishment. Before long, the empire was flooded with informants. Wu ZeTian also promoted a group of ruthless officials known for their cruelty. Their job was to deal with those who had been reported, especially anyone who opposed her. Once a person entered their prisons, there was almost no chance of coming out alive. Fear spread throughout the court. Every official lived in constant terror, never knowing which day might be their last. No one dared to discuss Wu ZeTian in private anymore, nor did they care who sat on the throne. She had successfully silenced all voices against her and gained total control over public opinion. But as the number of officials tortured and killed by these enforcers grew, resentment began to rise across the empire. Sensing the danger, Wu ZeTian ordered all the cruel officials to be executed. She then established an office to overturn wrongful convictions and clear the names of innocent officials, thereby rebuilding her image as a merciful ruler and easing tensions between herself and the court. A few years later, several monks forged scriptures claiming that Wu ZeTian was the reincarnation of a divine being destined to rule the world. 3 months after that, at the age of 67, Wu ZeTian officially ascended the throne, becoming not only the oldest ruler to take power in Chinese history, but also the only female emperor China had ever seen. During her reign, the empire's population grew rapidly, and the economy flourished. More commoners were given the chance to enter government service and contribute to the state. Whether it was the descendants of disgraced officials or scholars who had once written against her, Wu ZeTian chose to forgive them, valuing their talent over their past. Yet by the age of 76, Wu ZeTian faced a new question: who would rule after her death? She had taken the throne that once belonged to her sons, to the Li family, and had appointed many of her own relatives from the Wu clan to powerful positions. If she passed the crown back to the Li family, the Wu clan would surely face revenge. But if she let a member of her own family take the throne, then the Li clan would be the ones to suffer. It was a dilemma with no easy answer. In her later years, Wu ZeTian took in 2 young and handsome men, the Zhang brothers, and granted them great power. Under her protection, the brothers rapidly expanded their influence, becoming arrogant and domineering within the palace. Over time, they grew strong enough to form a third force that could rival both the Li and Wu families. Facing a common enemy, the Lis and the Wus temporarily set aside their long-standing feud and chose to unite. In the year 705, as Wu ZeTian's health declined, her son led more than 500 men into the palace. They killed the Zhang brothers and forced Wu ZeTian to abdicate, returning the throne to the Li family. After 46 years in power, Wu ZeTian finally withdrew from the political stage. And just as she had hoped, when her son ascended the throne, the Wu clan not only escaped revenge, they were even promoted to higher positions. 10 months later, Wu ZeTian passed away at the age of 82. In her final wishes, she requested that her imperial title be removed, that she be buried alongside her husband, and that her tombstone bear no inscription, leaving all judgment of her deeds to future generations. Her tomb is the only one in China that holds 2 emperors. Wu ZeTian and her husband, Li Ji, were not only partners in marriage, but also allies in politics. They loved and empowered each other throughout their lives. Wu ZeTian's tomb is also known as the most unbreakable tomb in China. According to historical records, it was targeted by tomb robbers 17 times after her death, yet none succeeded in breaking through. In life, no one could stop her from becoming emperor. In death, no one could disturb her eternal rest. In the long span of Chinese history, there has never been another like her.